How to lose everything in one night and start living for real. A successful life turned out to be a lie, shattered by a single message. This is a story about a 45-year-old man who traded the illusion of marriage for absolute freedom. William Davis woke up before the alarm went off. The digital display was supposed to flash in 12 minutes, but the investment advisor's internal rhythms worked with the precision of an atomic chronometer. Victoria was breathing softly next to him, her hand resting across his body. William gently moved her wrist and got out of bed. There was a serene silence in the cottage. The children were still asleep. They inherited the townhouse in the prestigious Beacon Hill neighborhood of Boston from Victoria's parents. 5 rooms, high ceilings, a view of the city park. William was just starting his career in a financial corporation at the time, and such housing seemed like an impossible dream to him. Now, after 22 years of married life, he could afford much more. However, these walls have become familiar to him. This is where their children, Jacob and Olivia, took their first steps. In the kitchen, William activated the automatic coffee maker. German equipment rumbled, filling the room with the smell of freshly ground beans. Dawn was beginning to break outside the window. January New England woke up reluctantly, as if unwilling to part with the warm peace of the night. Victoria appeared in the kitchen around 7:30. Satin robe, disheveled curls, traces of mascara under the eyes. The corporate celebration at the creative agency where she held the position of lead designer ended well after midnight. "Pour me some coffee," she said, massaging her temples. William silently placed the cup in front of her. The day before, he picked her up from a restaurant in the Soho area. Victoria was pretty tipsy, which rarely happened to her. In the car, she was muttering indistinctly, leaning against the cool glass. "How are you feeling?" "What is it?" he asked, pulling a protein bar out of the fridge. "My head is aching. Not a drop of alcohol until Independence Day." She took a sip of her drink and grimaced. William looked at his wife and tried to recall exactly what she had said last night in the car. Something about Donald. Donald is so attentive, not like you. Or maybe he imagined it. The light. Vic, who is Donald? What is it? He asked, trying to keep his voice neutral. Victoria looked up at him. There was a flicker of something like confusion, but it disappeared immediately. Donald Spencer, our new director of business development. And what? Oh, you mentioned him yesterday. I said a lot of things yesterday. She got up from the table. I'm going to take a shower. I have to be at the office in 60 minutes. William was left alone. There was an unpleasant feeling inside, like a taunt. It's a small thing, but annoying. For more than 2 decades of marriage, he got used to understanding his wife without words. Now this connection has been interrupted. The week passed in the usual rhythm. William headed the money management department of a large financial institution. There was a lot to do. European markets were stormy and customers were worried. Constant attention and monitoring was required. He returned home late. Victoria was also late. Pre-holiday emergency in the advertising sector. They were in the living room on Saturday night. The children went to their rooms. Jacob was studying for his final exams. Olivia was staring at her smartphone. Victoria was looking through some glossy catalog. William studied the quarterly reports on his tablet. His wife's phone was on the coffee table. The screen lit up. A text message has arrived. William couldn't help but glance over. I miss you. When will I see you, VD? Victoria reached for her phone, but William was quicker. What's it? He showed her the screen. Return the device. I asked what it meant. Victoria abruptly jumped up from the sofa. Her face was a mixture of indignation and fear. This is my personal correspondence. Don't you dare read it. Personal? We've been married for 22 years. What secrets can there be? That's enough. These are working moments. Miss you. When will I see you? Is this a work issue? Victoria snatched the phone from his hands. Yes, we're dating. Satisfied? She blurted out. You're always at work. You don't care about me. When was the last time you asked how I was doing? When was the last time we went out together? William looked at his wife. A beautiful 45-year-old woman, well-groomed, successful, the mother of his children, but a complete stranger at this moment. So, are you cheating on me? What is it? He asked with equanimity. It's not that simple. Donald understands me. It's interesting to be with him. It's clear. William got up and went into the bedroom. Victoria followed him. Where are you going? We need to talk. About what? You've said it all. He took out a gym bag from the wardrobe and began to pack his things, shirts, suit, underwear. He acted mechanically, as if he was going on a business trip. William, stop. Let's discuss this calmly. Maybe we should see a family therapist. To the therapist? He turned around. Victoria, you're cheating on me with someone named Donald, and you're suggesting I go to a therapist? This is not some Donald. And anyway, it's your own fault. You've turned into an automaton that only works and sleeps. I'm working to make sure we have everything we need. This real estate, cars, vacations, children's education, all this does not appear out of thin air. I don't need your money. I needed a husband, not a bank account. William zipped up his bag. Where are you going to stay the night? Victoria asked in a lower voice. In a hotel. I'll come back tomorrow for the rest of my things. I'll talk to the kids myself. William, don't go away. Let's try to fix everything. He looked at her intently. A really attractive woman, but trust is the foundation of any relationship, both in business and in the family. Trust was destroyed. No, Victoria, you can't bring back the past. On Sunday morning, William returned home. Victoria was sitting in the kitchen. There was a cup of cold coffee in front of her. She looked exhausted. She probably hadn't slept a wink. Are the kids still asleep? William asked. Yes. Are you really going to file for divorce? Yes. Find a lawyer, or I'll find one myself. We will divide the property according to state law. Don't worry about the townhouse. I don't claim it. Let the children decide for themselves who to stay with. Just like that? 22 years in the end? You're the one who decided that 22 years can be crossed out by an affair on the side. William went into his home office and turned on his laptop. Over the years of working in finance, he has become accustomed to quickly finding the information he needs. Divorce procedure, division of assets, alimony. The internet provided detailed instructions. He methodically studied the documents, making notes. Jacob woke up and looked into the office. Dad, why are you at the computer so early? I'm working. Jake, sit down. We need to talk. The son cautiously sat down in the chair opposite. My mom and I are getting divorced. Jacob was silent. At the age of 17, he was no longer a child. For what reason? What is it? He finally asked. These are adult matters. The main thing you should know is that it has nothing to do with you. I'm still your father. That's not going to change. Did your mom cheat on you? William hadn't expected such bluntness. What makes you think that? I'm not deaf. Yesterday you were fighting all over the house. Yes, I changed it, but let's skip the details. And that guy, is he going to live here now? I don't know. Mom will decide that. You can choose who you want to stay with. Dad, can I not choose yet? I have to go to university in 6 months. I don't want any shocks right now. Of course, no one is forcing you to make a decision right now. The conversation with Olivia was harder. The 13-year-old daughter burst into tears, accused her father of abandoning the family. William tried to explain, to comfort, but the girl ran off to her room. By evening, he had packed the necessary things. Victoria tried to start a conversation again, but William stopped all attempts. The decision was made. There is nothing to discuss. On Monday, he filed for divorce. Victoria hired a lawyer. The legal red tape has begun. William rented an apartment in the same zip code, wanting to be near the children. 3 weeks later, there was a meeting that William had not planned, but did not avoid. He went home to pick up his winter gear. A man in his mid-30s was smoking at the entrance to the building. Fashionable haircut, expensive jacket, confident look. Are you William? The man asked. Yes. And who exactly are you? Donald Spencer. William stopped. Here he is, a lover, young, successful, who took his wife. And what do you want to discuss? You see, the situation turned out to be awkward. Awkward? William chuckled. Are you sleeping with my wife and you're uncomfortable? Look, we're mature people. Victoria made her choice. Perhaps this is for the best, for the better. For whom? For everyone. You're free to go. You can start a new life. William was looking at Donald, a smug young man, confident in his own irresistibility. Probably all the women in the agency are crazy about him. You know what, Donald? To hell with you. What? William landed a short, no-swing punch. The fist landed on Donald's jaw. He staggered, but held on. This is for breaking into my family, William said calmly, and don't let me see you anymore. Donald was clutching his jaw, a mixture of pain and rage in his eyes. I'll report to the police station. Go ahead. Will you tell me how you heroically defended yourself from your deceived husband? The agency will appreciate it. William walked past him into the foyer. My arm ached, but I felt better, at least some kind of emotional release. The divorce process lasted for 4 months. Victoria tried to sue for more than the legal limit, but William hired a top-notch lawyer. As a result, everything was resolved peacefully. The townhouse and 1 car were left to his wife. William took his savings and investments, plus set monthly payments for the children. The issue of children turned out to be the most difficult. The court gave them the right to choose. Jacob stated that he wanted to stay with his mother. The university was 5 months away. He didn't want to change his usual surroundings. Olivia chose her mother, too. William did not insist, realizing that children should not be pawns in their adult conflicts. He rented a 3-room apartment in a 4-minute walk from the former family home. He has arranged rooms for the children, in case they want to come. Jacob sometimes visited his father. Olivia stubbornly avoided meetings. Victoria, meanwhile, lived openly with Donald. He often visited the townhouse. The children gradually got used to it. William heard the news from Jacob. My son shared them reluctantly, but honestly. Mom seems happy, Jacob said one day over dinner at a steakhouse. Constantly smiling, looks younger. I'm happy for her. Dad, aren't you angry? Not anymore. Everyone has the right to happiness. Maybe you'll find someone else too. I'm not up to it yet. There's a lot of work. And that was the truth. After the dissolution of the marriage, William completely immersed himself in business. The bank was preparing a major takeover deal for a regional credit institution. Personal involvement was required. He traveled from state to state, negotiated, and assessed the risks. Work became a salvation and left no time for introspection. My colleagues noticed the changes. William became tougher and more demanding, but the department's results also increased. By the end of the quarter, they had recorded record profits. Williams, are you going through a second honeymoon? Richardson's colleague asked. You work like a clockwork mechanism? I just focused on my priorities. And your personal life? I'm sorry to ask, but you're free now. Everything is fine. Family well-being is not given to everyone. Richardson wanted to add something, but remained silent. Everyone in their circle knew about Davis's divorce, but the details were not discussed. Professional ethics. 8 months have passed. Jacob entered the University of Boston to study economics, following in his father's footsteps. William helped with the preparation, hired tutors. On the day the results were announced, they celebrated together in a luxurious restaurant. Dad, I want to move in with you, Jacob said between the first and second courses. Did something happen? Mom is expecting a baby. From Donald? Well, not from the Holy Spirit. They're kind of getting married. Well, that's her right. Dad, he annoys me. He's always teaching, giving advice, and now there's going to be a baby. I don't want to live there. Jacob, you can always move in with me. The guest bedroom is ready, and Mom won't mind. You're 18 years old, you decide for yourself. The next day, Jacob moved his things. Victoria called William, shouted, accused him of turning his son against her. William listened in silence, then hung up. Olivia was still living with her mother. Relations with my father gradually improved. She started coming to visit. Sometimes she stayed for the weekend. She didn't talk about her mother or Donald. William didn't ask. Victoria gave birth to a daughter in the fall. William found out from Jacob. This news did not cause any emotions. A strange woman gave birth to a child from a strange man. Their paths finally parted, but life was preparing for surprises. 4 months after giving birth, William received a call from Victoria. "We need to meet," she said. "What for?" "This applies to children." They met at a cafe in the city center. Victoria looked exhausted, with bruises under her eyes and a haggard face. "Donald's gone," she said bluntly. "Sorry." "Don't be silly. I'm sick of it already." "Victoria, what do I have to do with this?" "He doesn't want to deal with Olivia and Jacob. He said that his newborn was enough for him. Constant quarrels. Olivia cries every day. And what do you want from me?" "Take her to your place, please." William looked at his ex-wife. A proud, successful woman asked for help. She humiliated herself for her daughter. "Is this what Olivia wants?" "Yes, she said she wants to live with you and Jacob." "Okay, let him move in." "Thank you." Victoria stood up. "William, I'm sorry. Past. Take care of the younger one." Victoria left, and William stayed to finish his coffee. That's how strange it turned out. The children are with him, and his ex-wife is left at a broken trough. Justice, perhaps, but there was no joy in it. Olivia moved in the following week. The three of them formed a new family, without a mother, but a family. William tried to spend more time with his children. We cooked together on Saturdays, went out of town, and visited museums. Olivia thawed out and started calling him Dad again, not William, as she had in the first months after the divorce. Donald is rumored to have moved in with some model. Victoria was left alone with an infant. William transferred money to her in addition to the alimony payments. After all, the mother of his children, even if she was an ex-Victoria, sent a thank you message. He didn't answer. Things were going well at work. William was promoted to managing director, and bonuses were significantly increased. He bought an apartment in the same building where he rented. The children needed stability. His friends tried to introduce him to women, arranged casual meetings, and invited him to steamy dinners. William communicated politely, but did not offer a second meeting. "I wasn't ready to let anyone into my life, and I probably never will be." "Dad, have you decided to become a hermit?" Jacob asked once. "What makes you think that?" "But you're not dating anyone at all." "I meet with clients and partners. I'm talking about women. And about women. You know, Jacob, I've been married for 22 years. Enough. But you're only 45. Does life end at 45? No. But it's boring to be alone. I have you and Olivia, and I have a job, and that's enough for me." And it was true. William really didn't feel lonely. Morning runs in the park, work, evenings with the children, books that he had been putting off for years. Life has found a new rhythm, calm and measured. A year after the divorce, they met Victoria by chance in a grocery supermarket. She was pushing a stroller, choosing baby food. Jacob passes the session. Olivia moved on to an advanced math class. "Well done. Say hello. I'll pass it on." They stood in silence. Two people who have lived together for 22 years and become strangers. "William, are you happy?" Victoria asked suddenly. "And you?" I asked first. "I'm calm. For me, this is happiness. It's clear." "Well, bye." While Victoria wheeled the wheelchair to the ticket counter, William watched her go and wondered if she was sorry. Donald left her with the baby. My career must have suffered. The older children living with their ex-husband is a disaster across the board. But it was her choice. In the evening, Olivia asked, "Dad, if Mom asks to come back, will you accept her?" "No." "Why?" "You loved her." "He loved me, but trust, once broken, cannot be restored." "Trust." "Yes, there are rules in business. If your partner has betrayed you once, never have anything to do with him. It's the same in my personal life. Tough, but honest." Another year has passed. Jacob finished his sophomore year and worked part-time at an investment company. Olivia won the regional math Olympiad and dreamed of going to engineering school. William received an offer to head the bank's Asian division in Singapore. Career peak, an astronomical salary. He refused. Children must complete their education in the USA. You're crazy, Davis, Richardson said. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I have other priorities. The kids will grow up, move away, and you'll be left alone. Maybe, but as long as they need me, I'll be there for them. Victoria remarried an entrepreneur 18 years her senior. The children spoke reluctantly, apparently sparing their father. William didn't care. Her life, her choice. The three of them went to Hawaii for the May holidays, rented a house in Kailua, went swimming, and cooked a barbecue. Olivia photographed the sunsets. Jacob taught his father how to surf. You know, Dad, Jacob said, sitting on the balcony in the evening, I'm glad that you got divorced. Have you become different, alive, or something? You used to be a function, a breadwinner, a father, but now you're a human being. I've always been human. Maybe he was, but we didn't notice it. William thought about it. Perhaps the son is right. In marriage, he played a role, lived up to expectations. He was just living now. When he returned to Boston, his work consumed him. Artificial intelligence, startups, venture investments. I had to learn on the go, but it was invigorating and gave me drive. Davis, you've looked 15 years younger, Laura's secretary remarked. What's wrong with you? Life goes on, Laura. It's just that life goes on. By the end of the year, the company under his leadership went on an initial public offering IPO. Success, recognition, bonuses. William noted modestly. Dinner with children at your favorite restaurant. Dad, you're cool, Olivia said, raising her glass of juice. And me, Jacob agreed. Thank you, dear ones. You are my main victory, and it was the pure truth. Career, money, success, everything is secondary. The main thing is that the children are close, healthy, and happy. We celebrated the new year at home, made a homemade salad, and decorated the Christmas tree. At midnight, they made a wish. William wished for one thing, to keep everything as it is. After the chime struck, a message came from Victoria. Happy New Year. Thanks for everything. William read and deleted it. The past must remain in the past. January started with new projects. The bank expanded its presence in America. Frequent business trips were required. William traveled around the country, but tried not to stay more than 2 or 3 days. Children should know that their father is near. Jacob had been dating a girl since childhood, bringing her home, introducing her. Nice girl, smart. William approved of his son's choice. Just don't repeat my mistakes, he said to Jacob alone. Which ones? Don't lose yourself in a relationship. Stay yourself. Dad, do you regret something? About the divorce. Maybe it was possible to save the family? No, I don't regret it. And there was nothing to save. When trust is destroyed, only imitation of the relationship remains. To live in imitation is to deceive oneself. Rationally, honestly. Jacob, there will be many temptations and compromises in life, but there are things that cannot be sacrificed. Self-respect is one of them. In winter, Olivia fell in love with a classmate, an excellent student, and a future astrophysicist. William watched his daughter with a smile. First love, excitement, worries. Dad, how do you know it's real? What is it? She asked one day. The present does not need to be invented. It just exists. Did you have a real one with your mom? It was, in the early years. Then we started playing roles. I am a successful husband. She is an ideal wife. The game dragged on for 22 years. Sadly, normal. Not everyone can live their life in love alone. The main thing is to admit in time that it's over. By spring, life had finally settled down. Work, kids, sports on weekends. William bought a subscription to the pool, started swimming in the morning. Physical activity cleared my head and gave me energy. His colleagues continued to try to woo him. Marina, the financial director of a friendly company, became the last attempt. Smart, beautiful, without family baggage. They had dinner several times and discussed their work. Marina was clearly interested in the sequel. William, can we go to the opera? She suggested after another business meeting. Marina, you're a wonderful woman, but I'm not ready for a relationship. At all, or with me. At all. I'm sorry if I gave false signals. Sorry. You're an interesting man. Thanks, but I made a choice. Privacy. Freedom. Marina smiled sadly and left. They no longer met outside of work. In May, Jacob announced that he wanted to go to California for an internship. Investment fund in San Francisco. 4 months. Great opportunity. Go ahead, William said. The experience is invaluable. And you? Olivia is going to a camp for gifted children in the summer. I'll work quietly, take a break from you. Dad? Really? You'll be the only one left. Jacob, I'm an adult, and 4 months of loneliness won't ruin me. William really spent the summer alone, and it turned out to be pleasant. No commitments, schedules, compromises. If you want, work until nightfall. If you want, go to Richardson Station. In August, he took a vacation and went to Yellowstone National Park. 2 weeks of hiking, a tent, a campfire. I turned off my phone. I wasn't thinking about work. Clear sky, clear water, clear thoughts. He returned, tanned, slimmed down, refreshed. The children arrived almost simultaneously. Jacob is from California. Olivia is from the academy. Dad, you look about 35 years old, Olivia remarked. Yellowstone works wonders, or freedom, Jacob added. In the fall, the last meeting with Victoria took place. She came to the office unannounced. The secretary confusedly informed about the visit. Let him come in, William said. Victoria entered hesitantly. Expensive suit, perfect makeup, but tired eyes. Thank you for accepting. What happened? Nothing. I just wanted to talk. About what? William, I know I have no right, but you were right about everything. Victoria, why did you come? I don't know, maybe I should really apologize. That was 3 years ago. Yes, I've been living with guilt for 3 years. William, I've ruined everything. My family, your life, and my children. You didn't destroy my life, but rather set it free. And the children? The children did well. Aren't you mad? No, not for a long time. I often wonder what would have happened if it hadn't been for Donald. Nothing would have happened. We would continue to play the happy family. Sooner or later, it would have ended anyway. Do you think so? I know that, Victoria. We were a good couple on paper. A successful financier and creative director, apartment in Beacon Hill, 2 children, picture. But the main thing was not behind the picture. What? Real intimacy. We lived parallel lives. You're in your own world, advertising and creativity. I'm into numbers and deals. We only crossed paths at home, and only formally. Victoria was silent and nodded. You're probably right. But then why does it hurt so much? Because 22 years is 22 years. Even if it was an illusion, you get used to it. William, can I ask you a personal question? Go ahead. Have you met anyone? No. And you don't want to? No. What I have is enough for me. It's because of me. I've hurt you so much that you can't trust me anymore. Victoria, don't flatter yourself. It's not because of you. I just realized that I'm comfortable being alone. I don't owe anyone anything. I don't disappoint anyone. I don't adjust to anyone. It's lonely. Lonely is when you're with someone, but you feel alone. And when you're alone by choice, that's freedom. Victoria stood up. Thanks for talking to me, and I'm sorry for everything. Good luck, Victoria. She went out. William returned to the documents. The past has finally let go. The year was coming to an end. Jacob received a job offer at the same San Francisco bank after graduating from university. Olivia was studying for her final exams and dreamed of going to Columbia University. Dad, what will you do if I go to California? Jacob asked over dinner. To work, to live, to enjoy your successes from a distance. What if Olivia goes to Columbia University and goes to a dorm? The same. Dad, you can't be alone all your life. Why can't I, Jacob? I've been married for 22 years. I've tried family life. I know all its pros and cons. Now I'm trying a different format. And you know what? I like. But that's not natural. For whom? For the society. Let society live as it wants, and I will live as I feel comfortable. Olivia looked up from her textbook. Dad, if you meet someone special, then we'll see. But I'm not looking for anyone special. Everything is fine with me. And it was absolutely true. William Davis, 48, managing director of a large bank, father of 2 grown children, was happy with his life, without illusions, without compromises, without having to meet someone's expectations. The work brought satisfaction and prosperity. The children grew up independent and intelligent. My health is fine. What more could you ask for? In December, the bank celebrated a corporate event. William came, congratulated his colleagues, drank a glass of champagne, and left. There was silence at home. The book I started the day before, a glass of good whiskey. The phone rang around midnight. An unknown number. Mr. Davis? A female voice? This is from the city hospital, your ex-wife. What happened? Victoria Smith joined us after an accident. She asked me to call you. I don't understand. We've been divorced for a long time. She said there was no one else. Her husband is abroad, and the children... William paused. What's wrong with her? Multiple fractures, concussion, stable condition, but spinal surgery is required. She really asked you to come. I'll come. Victoria was in a separate room at the hospital. His face is covered in abrasions. His right arm is in a cast, and he has an IV drip. Thank you for coming. What happened? The taxi crashed into a pole. The driver fell asleep at the wheel. I was sitting in the back without a belt. Where's your husband? In Dubai, on a deal. He said he'd be back in a week when he was done. A goat? Yes, I know how to choose them. William sat down on a chair next to the bed. When is the operation? Tomorrow morning. William, I'm scared. Doctors say there is a risk of complications. Everything will be fine. There are good specialists here. I have a younger one with a babysitter. If something goes wrong, it won't do. And if you need help with the baby, tell me. Victoria closed her eyes. Why did you come after everything I've done? Because we were once a family and we have children together. He stayed until morning. Victoria was dozing under the influence of painkillers. William was sitting in an armchair, answering work emails. In the morning, the anesthesiologist came and began preparing for the operation. Do the kids know? Victoria asked before she was taken to the operating room. No, he didn't. You can tell me when you get better. William, if anything, everything will be fine. The operation lasted 4 hours. William was waiting in the hallway, drinking hospital coffee from a vending machine. Finally, the surgeon came out. Everything was successful. After a couple of months of rehabilitation, he will get back on his feet. When Victoria woke up from anesthesia, William was there. Hi. The operation went well. Thanks for staying. Jacob and Olivia are coming tomorrow. I said you were in the hospital without giving any details. Did your husband call? Your phone crashed in an accident. If you want, I can give him my number. No need. You know, a month ago, he said he wanted a divorce. He met someone younger. I'm sorry. You're lying. You're not sorry. Okay, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. Victoria smiled faintly. I stepped on the same rake twice, exchanged a reliable person for a beautiful wrapper, and was left with nothing again. You have children. It's not related to anything. The children who live with you, it was their choice. William came back a few more times, brought normal food, helped with insurance after an accident, and found a good rehabilitologist. I don't understand why you're doing this, Victoria said before being discharged. I don't really understand either, probably because I can help. William, maybe we could? No, Victoria, no. I helped as an old friend, but it doesn't change anything between us. I know, I just sometimes think what idiots we were. You're in love. It's not idiocy, it's life. And you weren't in love with me. It was a long time ago, but love without trust does not last long. I'm sorry. I have forgiven. I forgave you a long time ago. But that doesn't mean you can bring back the past. After 2 months, Victoria fully recovered and wrote William a message thanking him. He answered briefly, "I'm glad that everything is fine. Take care of yourself." They didn't communicate anymore. In the spring, Jacob graduated with honors. Olivia went to Columbia University. William was proud of the children. They've grown up to be decent people. "Dad, Olivia and I were thinking," Jacob said at the gala dinner. "Can the three of us go somewhere before I go to California?" "That's a great idea. Where do you want to go?" "To Iceland," Olivia said. "Geysers, waterfalls, northern lights." Agreed. They went in August. 2 weeks of travel. Glaciers, volcanoes, black beaches. Olivia took pictures of everything. Jacob drove a car. William enjoyed the company of the children. On the evening of the last day, they were sitting in a bar in Reykjavik. "You know," William said, "I'm happy." "Really?" Olivia was surprised. "Absolutely. I have you. I have a job that I like. I have the freedom to live as I want. What else is needed?" "Love," Jacob suggested. "I have love for you. That's enough." "Dad, you're unusual," Olivia said. "Why are all men your age either married or looking for young mistresses or suffering from loneliness, and you're just living?" "I just realized one thing. Happiness is not necessarily a family, a home, or a traditional way of life. Happiness is when you live in harmony with yourself, when you don't pretend, don't play a role, and don't live up to other people's expectations." "You're our philosopher," Jacob smiled. "The practitioner. Philosophy without practice is empty talk." September brought changes. Jacob flew to San Francisco. Olivia immersed herself in her studies. William was left alone in a large apartment. The first night was strange. The silence that had been soothing before suddenly seemed loud. But after a week, he got used to it. A new rhythm, a new stage, work, sports, books, meetings with friends. I have a phone call with Jacob once a week, and dinners with Olivia on weekends. Life flowed smoothly and predictably. In November, his mother called, the only person who continued to hope for his enlightenment. "Willie, would you like to meet someone?" The neighbor says her friend. "Mom, I'm fine. But you're about to turn 50. Does life end at 50? "It doesn't end, but Willie, it's wrong. A man should be in the family." "Mom, I've been in the family for 22 years. I've tried, now I'm trying in a different way. And if you get sick, who will give you a glass of water? Nurse?" "Mom, don't worry, I'm fine." And it was true. William Davis was really doing well. Maybe not in the way that is accepted, not in the way that society expects, but it was his life, his choice, his freedom. The story was coming to an end. Not dramatic, not fabulous, just towards the end of one story and the beginning of another. The story of a man who chose to be himself. On a December evening, William was sitting in his office, looking through the annual reports. Snow was falling outside the window. The city was preparing for the new year. The phone was lying nearby, photo with children in Iceland on the screensaver. I got a message from Jacob. "Dad, I got a promotion." William smiled and wrote, "I'm proud of you." From Olivia, "I passed all the tests automatically. Can I bring my friends for the new year?" "Of course, call me." He put down his phone and went to the window. People were hurrying downstairs. Someone is going home to their families, someone is on a date, someone is just on business. Everyone has their own life, their own story. William Davis also had his own story. A story about betrayal and divorce, about pain and liberation, about choice and consequences. But most importantly, it was a story about how important it is to stay true to yourself. The point of no return had been passed 3 years ago, and he had never regretted not turning back.